It is August 14th, 1 a.m., doing our typical 1 a.m. live stream. These 1 a.m. live streams, as always, are really just hangout streams. We chat about whatever we want. So anybody who wants to jump in the chat and say hello, by all means, we're here to talk about Freemasonry. Any thoughts you have on Freemasonry, positive, negative, or neutral, I'd love to hear them, as well as any other thoughts you may have in general. This is just a chance to hang out and chat. Like I said, the purpose of this stream is to talk about Freemasonry. About 12 hours ago, the August 13th, 1 p.m. stream, we talked about and asked the question, can Freemasonry do big things? And more importantly than anything, how do we motivate us as Freemasons to do big things? Hello, Ryan. I hope that you are doing well. Thank you so much for being here. I'll see you Friday morning. Oops. Let me just remove that for 1 second. Try this again. This will probably be a shorter live stream. Mostly, again, though, this is just a hangout stream. So let's see who finds us. As always, maybe I'll mention just one more time, I've got, some really cool and exciting things coming up. Obviously, I guess maybe not. Some not so cool, but still important. As I was mentioning, my friend diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. He has a fundraiser taking place September 9th. Moose Lodge, 4 to 7, $10 all-you-can-eat pasta. It's going to be an absolute blast. Obviously, nobody's happy about the reason we're having it, but everybody should be really thankful for the opportunity to show a great guy by the name of Jeff Kavanaugh how important he is in Windsor, Essex, both for people who are professional wrestlers or involved in professional wrestling, as well as people who are, involved in toy sales and just people in general. He's just a really great guy, and everybody should support him during this time. So, September 9th, 4 to 7, Moose Lodge on Tecumseh. All you can eat pasta, $10. Kids 4 and under eat free. Yes, I agree. And you can support his GoFundMe, Jeff Kavanaugh Fights Cancer. You can find him on GoFundMe. Beyond that, 2 days, August 16th, live streaming from the Windsor Hip Hop Festival, which is going to be an absolutely great time. I can't wait. August 16th, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. I'll be there in person as well. So if you want to hang out, by all means, I hope you will. Hang out, join us, chat about Freemasonry with me in person, or join our live stream. Welcome, Med. I think you might be new. Please hit the like and subscribe button. August 20th, 3 to 6, doing a 3-hour Instagram live stream. I'm looking forward to doing something on Instagram. August 21st, 24-hour live stream starting 2 p.m. In the meantime, I've got my police clearance done, so I will be volunteering on August 16th. After I'm done with my live stream, I'm going to be helping out the Masonic Child Identification Program, volunteering there, which is going to be awesome. So you can find us there. I'll also be checking out Bloomsbury House at the same time. And I got my library card renewed. I want to give a shout out to the Windsor Public Library for always being there to support and help me. They are an excellent, excellent library, one of the best. And I want to give a shout out as well to Shoppers Drug Mart for helping me out getting vaccinated for upcoming travel potentially. I got a lot of stuff on the go and it's all been going great. So thank you, EA Freemason. Thank you, Courtney. Welcome, everybody. If you are just joining us, please jump in the chat. Let me know if you have any questions or thoughts on Freemasonry, positive, negative, or neutral. I'd love to hear them. This will probably be a shorter stream. It's mostly just me hanging out, chatting stream. I also managed to make contact with Coventry Foundation Lodge. Coventry, England is twin city to Windsor, Ontario. And I'm hoping maybe we can do something Masonic with that. So I'll let you know. Dog Eat Dog is back. Hello, Dog Eat Dog. How's it going? I hope you're doing well. Jump in the chat and let me know if you have any thoughts, questions, anything you want to talk about. Obviously, the kind of focus of this is on Freemasonry, but that doesn't mean there aren't a lot of other fun things that we can discuss. It's going to be a shorter stream because I am going to have a very busy next few days. Welcome, Wolfgang. Good to have you back. My plan is to do a stream tomorrow at 1 p.m. It may not be as long as normal. I'm hoping it will be. It just really depends on some other things I've got happening. But it's going to be a very busy but very fun few weekends. All is well for me, and I hope all is well for you also. Let's give it a few minutes. Let's see who jumps in the chat. And any thoughts on this morning's stream, what I was talking about, the ability for Freemasons to do big things, the ability for society to do big things, and what that means for us. I think that, I don't want to talk or imply that Freemasonry is the only or the exclusive way to make a better world. It's one of many ways, but I do believe that, it's the way I've chosen. And as a Freemason, I think one of our responsibilities is to demonstrate that things can be made better. And that can include taking on big things and taking on big jobs. My opinion about the ability for us to do big things. Welcome back. We have somebody from Greece once again, I believe. I think that the ability for Freemasonry to do big things is harder in 2025 than it's ever been in the past, but I still believe it's possible. We just have to really care. We have to care enough to try, and that's not easy. What is your opinion, Wolfgang? Do you think we as Freemasons can do big things, or do you even think society can do big things? What 5G, what do you mean by 5G? 5G internet? I think 5G is awesome. Anything that helps me reach more people, I think is wonderful. Yes, thank you, EA Freemason. Greece is beautiful, but the system is mafia. Hey, if Greece is beautiful, that's important. Down syndrome. Well, it sounds to me like you're implying that being gay is something people should be ashamed of, and it's not. I don't have a husband. I don't have a wife. I have a cat, and that's the best I can do at the moment. Well, Wolfgang, there are some people in the stream that make it understandable as to why you would question humanity, but I often have my times of pessimism and cynicism, but I'm trying to be better. So fingers crossed I can find a way to have more faith in people. It's not easy when you have somebody like Down syndrome Jesus in the stream being a troll. In this case, I think it's clear to see we do have a troll in the stream. Cats are wonderful creatures. I'm a cat person myself. I don't mind dogs. I like dogs too, but I'll always I think cats are the best. So just deal with that. Well, I think we may have to time out Down syndrome. I agree. As long as everyone tries to do their best, there is hope. Hope is a very important thing. And it's hard to have sometimes. Don't get me wrong. I 100% understand why people would struggle with kind of having hope in with some of the things you see. But What I find is sometimes when you look for it, you can find hope even in some of the more unusual places. And sometimes, I was talking about Moneyball. I don't know if you were there for that discussion, Wolfgang, but there's this line in Moneyball, you hit a home run and didn't even know it. There's this idea of like, how often do we actually achieve great things and we don't realize it because we're just too focused on the failures or the losses and not focused enough on all of our successes. I have no idea what that means, George Floyd, but there you go, or Floyd anime. I think we might have another troll in there. This is running off of 5G right now, and I'm still here. I have no legs, but then again, I had no legs before I started the stream, so I don't think we can blame 5G for that. Well, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt for 1 second, GF Anime, and ask you, do you have any thoughts or opinions on Freemasonry? Positive, negative, or neutral? Let's hear them. These 1 a.m. streams, I tend not to have any specific talking points. It's rather just seeing who's on the stream and what it is that they want to talk about. I have no idea what 60 GHZ means, but anything that helps me reach more people, I support, right? I love this stream and my ability to talk to so many different people from around the world. It's something I take a lot of pride in, and 5G helped me do that. So I can't really knock 5G from my cell phone that is reliant upon 5G in order to stream to the world, including to stream to Wolfgang. We're going to give it some more time. We're going to see who else joins. Any questions, thoughts on Freemasonry? Positive, negative, or neutral? Let's hear it. As well as anything else that you guys kind of want to chat about. This is just a fun hangout stream. I don't know for sure what my topic is going to be. I think my topic tomorrow is just going to return to hanging out, talking about what I've got happening in my life in the coming weeks with the channel, with streaming, and things I'm most looking forward to. So that should be a lot of fun. And I don't believe at this point I'll have a stream on Friday. I'm going to be too busy getting ready for Saturday. They'd have a hard time maintaining their customer base in that case, Wolfgang, right? Hopefully they'd find a way to make the frequency non-dangerous. Otherwise, you're running into the risk of, losing your ability to get customers. Because that sounds like it would suck a lot. I do not want my oxygen molecules oscillating, that's for sure. What's up, Brother Adam? I am doing well. I hope you are doing well also. Thank you so much for being here. Please take a moment, hit that like and subscribe button if you can, and let me know if there's anything that you want to chat about when it comes to Freemasonry. This morning, I got nothing. These 1 a.m. streams really are becoming relaxed kind of hangouts, whereas the 1 p.m. streams are more specific topics. So today, at 1 p.m., we talked about, can Freemasonry do big things, and how do we motivate our people to do big things? So tomorrow, or today, I guess, 12 hours from now, 1 p.m., we are going to be talking about what I have coming up next week and all the exciting things I have planned. It's going to be an absolute blast. I cannot wait. Thank you, Brother Adam. That's incredibly kind of you. By the way, Brother Adam, if you want to support this stream, a great way to do that is by going to patreon.com/square and compass. Patreon.com/square and compass. You can sign up for free. You don't have to spend any money, or you can spend a couple bucks. It's whatever you want to do. But just sign up for free. I appreciate your support. Thank you, brother Adam. And I gotta agree. I love the chat. I love all the people in the chat. I love my audience. I feel like I started to create a nice little family here. Brother Adam, Courtney, um, Ryan, Wolfgang, Black River Meditation, High Altitude. I just love having all these guys join. It's really wonderful. So, and I appreciate it because it gives me the chance to chat about Freemasonry, as well as sometimes some other things I really enjoy. Um, and Courtney, one of the best. So it's fortunate. I don't think Courtney's got what I sent at this point. I'll have to resend it, I think, unfortunately. Or maybe I'll get it returned to sender. I'm not sure why. I thought I wrote the address on very clear, but I will double check. Maybe the best thing to do is for me to actually get it tracked so I know it gets there for sure. Um, Please collab with ASAP Rocky. I think ASAP Rocky is a little bit bigger than me. Unless there's something, unless there's something I don't know, I think he's a little bit more impressive and a little bit, I think he's above my stream, my pay grade, but I appreciate that nonetheless. I have Discord, actually, brother Adam. I've just never got around to using it. But I am working with Smokey the Clown, and perhaps I'll get the opportunity to work with him because he is a Discord server. But I agree. I've been trying to stream on different places. Like I've streamed on Twitch. On August 20th, I'm streaming on Instagram. So I really wanted to try Discord, but I feel like I've been focusing so much on YouTube. I want to make sure I keep focusing there and growing this audience. But thank you, brother Adam. I will 1,000,000% check it out because, like I said, I want to be everywhere. I want to be on Discord. I want to be on Twitch. I want to be on OF. But people don't want to see me on OF, believe me. I'm not going to get any money for being there. If anything, I'll lose money, I'm sure. Insta, everything else. Pad Dupa, hello. I hope you're doing well. To everybody watching this, please take a moment, hit that like and subscribe button. I try my best to be brother Adam. I don't always succeed, but I always try my best to be at least a good Mason, if not a great Mason. I do always try, but I really appreciate that, brother Adam. That's incredibly kind of you to say. And welcome everybody who's joining us. Thank you so much. We've had a great turnout very early on. We have 18 people watching, which is wonderful. Please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. Jump in the chat. Let me know if you have any questions or thoughts about Freemasonry. Even if you have more negative views of Freemasonry, you know what? I'd still love to try to answer those questions as best I can or respond to those views. Responding to more negative views of Freemasonry actually helps me become a better Freemason because it helps me better understand what my arguments are or will be or should be towards Freemasonry. Or why it helps me better defend it and better understand it. So, but that's incredibly kind of you to say, brother Adam. That's one of the nicest things that someone said to me. I try. You're a great one too, Courtney, as are you, brother Adam. I mean, I know, Courtney, you're still new to Freemasonry. Um, uh, what I will say, to be very general, brother Adam, is, being in a wheelchair when you can't see and you're being guided, it's you have to have a lot of kind of confidence and calmness because your natural tendency is to always want to good for you, brother Adam. You made that joke before, but it was funny the first time and it's funny this time as well. But don't get too Masonic in the bedroom. That's a whole other can of tuna that we'd have to open up later. You always want to put your hands on the wheels or whatever it is. Like, it's a really good exercise in learning about trust, learning about kind of temperance, learning about calmness, learning about what's the word? Not acquiescence, that's the wrong word. Learning how to, one of the hardest things I think for human beings, especially men, can be this belief that we have to be in control all the time. Learning to trust other people is a very big part of the initiation process, and it's a very valuable part. Lance, Lance, I don't agree. I think you might be a troll, Lance. Tim Wells, I am in Canada, if that's what you mean. I am Windsor, Ontario. Born and raised in Winnipeg, but currently live in Windsor and love Canada. Your granddad sounds like a very impressive man, Brother Adam. I can't imagine living to 102. That strikes me as incredibly impressive, and I'm sure he was a great person. Tim, please hit that like and subscribe button. Everybody watching who's new, please hit the like and subscribe button. Oh, Lance, we have a Windsor right here. I miss Tunnel Barbecue so much. Like, so much. It was an absolutely incredible place. Oh, did I love Tunnel Barbecue. Well, now we're talking about the Windsor Ballet. I never made it to that one. I made it to some other ones, never made it to that one. Um, it's still around though, right? If I'm not mistaken, but it's I've been to some other ballets, but never Silvers. Windsor does have heart. Windsor's is an absolute champion place that does not get near the love it deserves. I was born this way, Lance. I was born this way. Um, and so, yeah, when I was really young, I used artificial limbs. And then I switched over and started using a wheelchair when I went to high school and stuck around since. I love the casino. Honestly, I don't even really gamble, but the casino has free coffee, and every day from 11 to 12 and 7 to 8, they have free fancy coffee at the PlaySmart Center. They also have PlaySmart, which has great resources for anybody struggling with gambling. It's just a really, really awesome place. Um, Friendly service, free drinks, like free pop, free coffee. They have the PlaySmart services for people struggling with gambling problems. They have excellent shows. They have absolutely wonderful shows. Um, so I really and they employ. If I recall correctly, they're the third largest employer in Windsor. Um, and so nothing but respect for Caesar's Windsor. Thank you, Lance. It's very kind. I hope you'll hit the like and subscribe button in honor of my articulation. Hello, Freemasonry. How's it going for you? I hope that you are doing well. Thank you, everybody who's joined so far. Please take a moment, hit the like and subscribe button, and let me know if you have any thoughts on Freemasonry. It's not just that Caesars is a great place to be. Just Windsor in general is a great place to be. You know what? As is Detroit, as is the Windsor Masonic Temple, as is the Detroit Masonic Temple. These are all great places to be. As is Canada, as is the United States. Well, it's awesome that your wife is there with you, Freemasonry. Hello, Penelope. For heaven's sakes, I hope you don't get bored of watching me talking about Freemasonry. The poor wives, like they're Masonic widows already, usually, with some guy who's always off, on some Masonic meeting, and now you got to watch a live stream of me talking about Freemasonry. Buy her some flowers, Freemasonry. Buy Penelope flowers. She deserves it. And if everybody agrees with me on that, everybody give some hundreds. But I do hope everybody is doing well. Thank you again. This 1 a.m. stream really is just a hangout stream. We chat about whatever we want to chat about. I don't really have any specific topics. Earlier today, I was talking about how or if Freemasonry can still do big things, as well as how we in a society can still do big things. Um, I agree. Friends Night is a great idea. That's a good question, brother Adam. Is the Eastern Star so? People will kind of disagree on definitions, and it gets a little bit. People can get really sticky about the definitions. What I always say is Freemasonry is an umbrella term that refers to different organizations that evolved in some way from stonemason guilds. So I wouldn't call Eastern Star Women Freemasons. I'd call them part of the Masonic family, as is the Order for Rainbow, as is D. Molay, as is the Order of Women Freemasons, which I also consider to be a part of the Masonic family and a part that I'm proud of to call it part of the Masonic family. So we're all part of the Masonic family. I have no beef calling the Order of Women Freemasons Freemasons, Eastern Star Freemasons. The one kind of exception I might make is for the youth groups, because, maybe you call them young Masons, who knows. But I think what matters most is they are part of the Masonic family. Um, you're not wrong, brother Adam. I had women Freemasons on the podcast. You are not incorrect. They're a great, great group. I love them. I think we as Freemasons on the AF and AM side need to do more to welcome them into the Masonic family. And I, for one, like I said, I'm not personally even huge into the esoterics, but I appreciate those who are. And I think that they add a great deal to the craft and a great deal to Freemasonry. So check out my interview with Jennifer Newell of the Order of Women Freemasons. It's something I was really, really proud that I got the chance to do. She was great. She was absolutely awesome. No, 30th, Ryan. August 30th, not August 31st. So make sure you get it right because I don't want you to be there a day late. August 30th. And welcome to everybody who's joining us. Thank you all for being here. Please take a moment, hit that like and subscribe button. Well, but they don't have to accept them into Freemasonry in the sense of having meetings with, men and women, but they can accept them, and like England does, accept them as being Masonic and a recognized Masonic body, right? Which is how it should be, I think. They should absolutely be recognized and considered as Freemasons. They should be able to use our buildings, which they do in Ontario. They should be able to take part in Masonic, public events, and they have their meetings, right? So, well, they fit in as part of the family. No different than Eastern Star, no different than the youth groups. They're just another part of the family. No different than Prince Hall in some ways, right? And the same thing from us to them. We are part of their family just as much as they are part of our family. Well, I mean, it depends on what jurisdiction you're in. That doesn't really happen in Canada. It's a little more complicated in Canada. It doesn't just take one reunion. But I know there are some jurisdictions right now in like Ohio, for example, where I believe, I could be mistaken, where it all happens within like one day, which does seem unfortunate to me. But I know every jurisdiction is kind of struggling and trying to find ways to deal with a combination of members having less and less time, more and more demands, and trying to grow their membership numbers. Um, Welcome. If you are just joining us, thank you for being here. Please take a moment, hit that like and subscribe button. I would appreciate that too, brother Adam. And let me know if you have any thoughts on Freemasonry, positive, negative, or neutral. I would absolutely love to hear them, as well as, just anything you guys want to chat about. These 1 a.m. streams are just me hanging out, chatting about whatever we want. Was that one of Pike's intentions, is for each degree to be done individually? I did not know that. Keeping in mind, though, Albert Pike was a southern jurisdiction, which does not, it applies to Freemasonry in general in some ways, but there is northern jurisdiction, there is Canadian Supreme Council, they're different organizations. You know what, Ryan? If you wanted to get your first degree, it would be awesome. I hope you would join Border Cities. However, it's just wonderful to have you be here, have you be part of this stream, and have you at Coffee Club, and have you, you are as much a part of the Masonic family as Michelle, as anybody else. And we truly appreciate you being here. Um, so keep up the good work, and thank you for your presence. Well, I don't know. Like, I don't know if he would have or would not have. Like, I think he intended each degree to take place and not to skip, but I think he probably would have. I don't know if he would have been upset by having 32 in one class. He probably would have appreciated the growth. I got to get my thank you. I got my fancy shirt. EA Freemason Courtney likes it, so if he likes it, I know I'm doing something right because that is a handsome, handsome man, as I often say. And Ryan is a good guy, but I'm just happy to have him here. That's what matters. And he also supports Freemasonry by supporting our coffee club, which is very, very much appreciated. Please take a moment, if you are just joining us, hit that like and subscribe button. Um, Let me know. Well, no, no, Ryan. All right, I got to take everything I said about Ryan back. Now I have to say some more negative things about him because he's putting ranch on pizza like a gross person. You know, the fact he'd even bring that up into chat when he knows how sad it makes me. Like, that's fine. That's fine. I say all these nice things about him, and now I have to remind people not to put ranch on pizza. That's where we're at, Ryan. If I ever come to a Masonic Lodge meeting and anybody suggests we put ranch on our pizza, I will lose my mind. Uh, yes, Brother Adam's on my side. Ranch on pizza is clandestine, Ryan. Um, Is that what you want? You want to be clandestine by putting ranch on your pizza? And your father is a great man, a great Freemason, been a very valuable part of Freemasonry in our area for, I don't even know how long, since 1978, I guess, 1987, I guess, at which time I was 4 years old. It's too late now, Ryan. Your sorries will not cut it. In fact, I'm going to make this a poll question. Ranch on pizza. Let's see what people say. I'm going to assume the chat is on my side and is going to say no. People in the chat say no. You would get a Lewis Jewel if you join. No, EA Freemason. So both of you are just betrayed me over here. That's where we're at. Just the betrayal I feel at this point. It's hard for me to even believe that there could be such betrayal. I hope you are doing well. Everybody joining me, thank you so much for being here. Please take a moment, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let me know if you have any questions, thoughts, comments on Freemasonry. It's interesting, Brother Adam. I've always thought we have a Lewis Jewel. Which is, if you join and your father's already a Freemason, there's no jewel the other way. And I think there should be. There's no jewel for situations where a father joins after the son. But I feel like there should be some type of recognition for that as well, because that's a really cool thing also. Having said that, I do want to keep in mind for people, even as I'm saying all of this, there is no requirement that you need to have a family member to be a Freemason. That's one of those myths. Wait, there is a jewel for a father who joins after the son? I had no idea they changed it. When did they change that? And which jurisdiction are you, Brother Adam? Because I don't think that's the case in Ontario. Unless I'm wrong, unless you're Ontario. Oh, I had no idea. When did that change? I'm way behind the times. That's very good. Whenever they made that change, I support that change 100%. because I've always thought it was a shame. Okay, Pennsylvania does it. Okay, I don't know if, I don't think Ontario does, but I could be mistaken. But good on Pennsylvania. WODIS, WODIS. I never understood what it is. Could you give a quick general explanation? Sure, WODIS, I can. If you'd be so kind as hit the like and subscribe button, I would appreciate it as well. Freemasonry is an umbrella term that refers to civic or social groups that, in some way, derive their origin from stone mason guilds of the Middle Ages in Europe, and has a founding date of approximately 1717. So, a series of social groups, clubs, youth groups, women's groups, men's groups, all of which, in some way or another, derive from stonemason guilds, like trade unions, and eventually became social groups and social clubs. Um, and all of these different groups, the way they work together or relate to each other, is through something called recognition. So the most basic explanation, WODIS, I would say, is a series of social groups or clubs. Um, some for men, some for women, some for men and women, and some for youth. I hope that that made sense. And a lot of these symbols and trappings and language of Freemasonry, derives from stone masonry itself. So building things out of stone. So, for example, people, when they built things out of stone, they use tools like a square and a compass. And in Freemasonry, we use the square and compass as a symbol of our uh, order. Civic organization, another way to describe it. But it's really civic organizations, right? Plural, because there's more than one organization that falls under the umbrella of Freemasonry. I hope that made sense. I hope you'll hit the like and subscribe button. I hope you'll answer my poll question. What do you think of ranch on pizza? And let me know otherwise just how you're doing. And thank you for being here. No worries, Wotus. Thank you for being here. Have you followed my stream before? Do you search for stuff about Freemasonry? Like, how'd you come across the stream? If you don't mind my asking. No, you can't. Yes, just as Brother Adam said, that is one. It's a little known rule. It's called the Ryan McKee rule. In fact, it's named after Ryan. We just made it up now, but it's a long-held rule that you cannot put ranch on a pizza and be a Freemason, which is exactly as it should be. So congratulations, Ryan. You have a rule named after you. Well, thank you, YouTube, for just putting me onto Wotus's screen. I appreciate it. So I do these streams usually Mondays through Fridays, 1 p.m. and 1 a.m. And the 1 p.m. streams, I have specific topics I discuss about Freemasonry. Like yesterday's 1 p.m. stream, Can Freemasonry Do Big Things? And the 1 a.m. streams are more just hang out, chat, talk about whatever we want to talk about when it comes to Freemasonry, and just, shoot the poop with people. I will take goat's cheese on a pizza. I like goat's cheese, so I can accept goat's cheese on pizza, so long as there's no ranch involved. It does, but it's still great. So, yeah, it's just ranch. It's just ranch. That's all it is. The Ryan McKee rule is very specific. If you put ranch on a pizza, you cannot be a Freemason. There's other things as well. Like if you put whipped cream on pumpkin pie, you cannot be a Freemason because whipped cream is disgusting. That is the Igor rule, we're going to call it, because he does that and he ruins pumpkin pie because he's a monster. Um, what else? Definitely do not mix ketchup and mayonnaise together. Um, um, and coffee and fruit punch. That is the Courtney. That is the EA rule. Do not put coffee and fruit punch together. Yes, brother Adam, and someone suggested it, if you can believe it. I'm not going to say who. You can guess by the name of the rule, but yes, I don't know about this. However, I still love having all of you on the stream, even with your strange, like Pepsi and orange juice, even with your very strange food habits. And by the way, WOTUS, food and Freemasonry is actually a pretty big deal. Very often you will find that, Freemasons care a lot about what they have for refreshments after lodge. So, no, Wyatt Derp, what is going on here? They call Freemasons like Satanists, and yet we have somebody in the stream suggesting mixing milk and Gatorade. I will take cottage cheese and Ritz crackers. I will take that. No, like when it comes to Freemasonry, Rodis, right, one thing about it is, after lodges or before lodge meetings, we will often have refreshments. We'll have dinner. There's somebody called a junior warden who is responsible for ensuring that there is refreshments ready. It's a tough job. It's a very tough job. But yeah, I will take sardines on pizza, 100%. No, not raw milk. Get your milk pasteurized. It's too dangerous. There could be diseases in raw milk. Um, Welcome. If you're just joining us, please take a moment, jump in the chat, say hello, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Um, and I hope that you are doing well. This is interesting. I just got a message. I'm going to talk about this tomorrow a little bit. No, Rondo, pineapple and ranch. Basically, I don't even know why you would do that to yourself. Like, good heavens, what is happening? We have like a non-Mason on the stream by the name of Wotus. We're going to scare him away with all this discussion. He's going to think that we're putting ranch on pizza with pineapple and like who knows what other and mixing Gatorade and milk. Like it's not going to go well for him. No, Wyatt Derp, that's even worse. This whole, where did the trolls go calling me satanic? I'll take that over some of these crazy suggestions. I just got brother Adam on my side. Interestingly enough, the Great Ranch on Pizza debate has 9 votes. Yes is slightly in the lead. It looks like Ryan, you're slightly winning it right now, but hopefully that will change soon. And if you are just joining us, and if you're new, please hit like, please hit subscribe, and let me know if you have any thoughts on Freemasonry. No, I actually just saw the message um, a couple days ago. I haven't listened to it yet, but I like what you're saying here. Um, where is it? Where'd it go? Where you're asking people to like add their own stuff to the song in order to kind of make it their own. Because I would absolutely love to try that out. I think it'd be a lot of fun. Okay, yeah. So I will try my best to listen to it. I'm swamped this next week. It's going to be a lot of 15, 16-hour days, but hopefully the week after I can check it out and maybe even do a live stream about it. I think that would be a lot of fun. Maybe do another podcast interview with you even about it. I think that would be a lot of fun as well. Um, I do not, brother Adam. I think the Illuminati, started by like Weishaupt, was basically an anti-Masonic group. He didn't like how expensive Freemasonry was. He didn't like how it was not esoteric enough for him, and he decided to start his own group, and it did not last for very long. So he kind of learned it's not as easy as I guess he thought it was. Um, that's good, EA. That's good. Organic food is good. My advice is always, what the doctor says, that's what you go with. So if the doctor is recommending a certain type of diet or whatever it is, then follow your doctor's lead. But that's awesome. I think he was, yeah. Based on my reading of it, he was trying to replace Freemasonry. It didn't work out so well for him, which it almost never does, right? Freemasonry is one of those things that takes a licking but keeps on ticking. It's faced so many challenges and has always seemed to have made it. I've not watched that. Unless, was that the Johnny Rockwell? The Scottish Key Origins of Freemasonry on YouTube. Yeah, Terra Masonica. I think, did I watch it? I can't remember if I did or not. I remember it, but I don't believe I watched it. Like I said, I've just been super swamped because I have so many events happening next week. I'm getting ready for them all right now, So there's been a lot of days with a couple hours sleep and that's it. But that makes things fun, Makes things enjoyable. Who needs sleep? It's disbanded, I think, Brother Adam. Like, one of the problems with the internet and what it can do is, I can easily jump on, I can easily, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, go to my bedroom, put up a sign that says Cameron's Organization of the Illuminati, create a Facebook page, share it with people, and suddenly people are arguing that Illuminati exists, right? There's a difference between a few people around the world in basements starting their own version of the Illuminati, sometimes for scam purposes, sometimes, for other reasons, versus people legitimately, versus an actual organized official group. And I don't believe that is the case for Illuminati. Like I said, there are people around who every year try to start some version of it, either because they want to scam people out of money, or they genuinely want to start some type of new fraternal group based on the old group. But that doesn't mean it actually exists in a real way, if that makes any sense. I don't know, Ryan. I mean, outside of obviously, if you're in Windsor, you can cross the border and go to Detroit. I don't know. I don't mind Detroit style pizza. I think it's pretty good, to be honest. The square pizza, the famous square pizza. Does it? Okay, good to know. Give a shout out to Armando's. Everybody watching this. Does he say that, or is it true? Is he literally in the Illuminati? Cat Williams. In my opinion, he talks about the Illuminati on Theo Vaughn. In my opinion, because I used to do stand-up comedy, actually. The greatest opening to any stand-up special in the history of stand-up special is Cat Williams' American Hustle from 2007. Every day I'm hustling. That whole opening bit, where he's like, it's on YouTube. It's 3 minutes 46 seconds, where he's like playing the Every Day I'm Hustling song while pretending to like work at McDonald's. It's just so good. It's just so good. So, I would check that out if you're not seeing it, because it's absolutely awesome. Rondo, are you a fan of Cat Williams, like as a comedian and his comedic styles or stylings, if you will? Do you have a favorite kind of joke of his? For me, it's American Hustle, Every Day I'm Hustling. It's the best opening bit, in my opinion, in the history of stand-up comedy. And to everybody who's here, I mean, like I said, EA Freemason Courtney, because I've got, because you're my brother and I consider you, a friend and you're there in Texas, I really want to make my way to a Texas event and get to hang out with you. Maybe get to see your second or your third or whatever it is that I can do. It would be awesome. What's your favorite special of his, Rondo? He is hilarious. He is absolutely hilarious. Do you have a favorite special of Cat Williams? I feel like in some way he dropped off a little bit in like the last, 5 or 10 years or so. But from like 2007 to 2012, he was one of the best by a mile. Um, I hope so, Brother Adam. I mean, there have been reports and people saying that they don't think it's going to make it 40 years, in fact. It scares me to think so because I think the world is a much better place with Freemasonry. But if it does last another 50 years, it's going to be dependent on Masons such as us to keep fighting for it and try to keep it alive however it is that we can. Okay, see, I've not seen a ton of Richard Pryor's stuff. He was a little bit before my time, but he's really impressive nonetheless. So, yeah, I would support that. Masonry is huge in the Philippines. I was just recently lucky enough to be able to make my way to Manila in the Philippines. It was an absolutely incredible, incredible time. Manila was a beautiful city, very friendly people. And yeah, I got to go there to celebrate Jose Rizal, a Freemason and kind of one of the founding figures, if not the founding figure, of the modern day Philippines. So yeah, Philippines Freemasonry is huge in the Philippines. I should do a talk one day about Jose Rizal. I got a bunch of pictures of me at his statue. It was pretty incredible. So the whole trip was absolutely incredible. I did Toronto, I did Chicago. So I did Windsor to Chicago, Chicago to Manila, Manila to Rio, and it was an absolute blast. Each one was super fun in different ways. So I really, really loved being able to be there. Yes, I agree. Very kind, very friendly people. Super awesome people. Like it was an absolute blast. I loved it. And great Masons. And just to remind everybody, if you want to see pictures from my trips, you can go to my Instagram accounts. You can go to Patreon. You can go to Facebook, Twitter. Follow me on all of these different socials, and you will find me talking about me sharing pictures of, for example, pictures of me in the Philippines. Um, so make sure you do that. I don't practice law, but when I did, it was a lot of landlord tenant board stuff, a lot of administrative law, which I loved, so yeah. Some famous Freemasons have been lawyers. There's actually a local, like, big time lawyer who was a Freemason out of Chatham. I started focusing on being a probation officer, then I worked in a jail, and now I'm focused on Freemasonry and on this. but I just don't have the time, unfortunately. So yeah. Barcelona, that's a great choice, EA. I'm sure your wife will enjoy that if you're going there for your anniversary. I'm sure it'll be a very fun trip. And if you get there and get to visit some Masonic lodges, please share some of those pictures with me. I'd love it. I think it'd be wonderful to see. It's growing. It's growing, that's for sure. I've known several Masons from, say, Ghana, Kenya, so that's really, really cool as well to see that. Um, you do have those issues in a lot of different kind of developing countries, if that's the best term to use. But I agree. I tend to be more, hey, at least it's there. Clandestine or not, at least it's there. And we can focus on recognition and things like that later. Welcome. If you are just joining us, please take a moment, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and let me know if you have any questions, thoughts about Freemasonry, positive, negative, or neutral. I'd love to hear them. Well, we don't recruit and we don't advertise in that sense. So I um, will actually say, Wolfgang, you should not join a Masonic lodge unless you want to be provided with the opportunity to fight to make the world a better place. It's not going to get you rich. It's not going to get you famous. It's not going to, you know, improve your life in some super crazy way. What it is going to do is put you in touch with other people, all of whom are working through brotherly love, relief, and truth to make the world a better place. And if you want to be part of making the world a better place, then you should join Freemasonry. I mean, I think what Ryan is trying to say is if we were willing to advertise ourselves more, would we have more success? I think in like growing ourselves, I think it's not, it's for a long time we took an overexpansive definition of advertising to the point where, you know, Freemasons viewed advertising as just even me talking about I'm a Freemason and I love Freemasonry. Like that was advertising, and that was the problem. Um, um, that was where the issue came from. And thankfully, there's been a correction in the past 10 to 15 years. People better understanding that talking about Freemasonry, talking about why you love it, talking about why you think it makes the world a better place, does not constitute advertising. Um, so yeah, Wolfgang, it does cost money. It really depends on your jurisdiction. I know some jurisdictions that charge as little as $50 a year for their dues and have no initiation fees, to jurisdictions or lodges that charge $1,500 for the initiation fee and $700 for their yearly dues. So my general experience is it's between $100 to $200 per year in order to join, in order to pay your dues per year. So between $100 and $200 per year, um, which I think is pretty reasonable. If anything, I think sometimes we sell ourselves a little bit too cheap in terms of our dues. Boy asks, what kind of men are you into? Once again, I think he's applying that, being, being homosexual is something to be ashamed of. I'm not into men. If I were into men, it would be Brad Pitt because he's a handsome fella. But I'll use it as a learning opportunity to mention, we have many LGBTQ or, G members of Freemasonry. A couple guys who are married to other men in Freemasonry, and they're a wonderful part of the fraternity. So, boy can take his homophobic nonsense out of here if that's what he is implying. And if he's just genuinely asking, because he thinks I'm gay. Well, then, like I said, it'd be Brad Pitt. Because can you blame me? Have you seen Brad Pitt? He is one handsome fella, let me tell you. I do hope everybody is doing well. Please take a moment if you're just joining us to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We're here just hanging out. Joshua S. Camila, not all of them. All right, so I'm going to Google something. Well, first, I'm going to take a guess. So I don't have it up on Google yet. I believe 11 of the founding fathers were Freemasons. Um, but I'm going to now check to see how close I was. Oh, I was close. According to Google, 9 of the 56 signers of the Declaration of Independence were Freemasons. Additionally, 13 of the 39 signers. That's according to AI overview. I know obviously John Hancock was a Freemason. George Washington was a Freemason. Ben Franklin was a Freemason. John Paul Jones, Paul Revere, they were all Freemasons. See, Wolfgang, he is a handsome guy. We're all, we can all, we can all be strong enough in our masculinity to admit that Brad Pitt is a handsome guy. Oh, I would need to get an expert to talk about that stuff because the Anderson constitutions in Freemasonry, I'd be way out of my league talking about it. But I mean, the founders who were Freemasons, 1723 was the Anderson Constitution. They took a lot of, influence from Freemasonry as well as from a lot of other kind of sources, right? A lot of philosophers, Enlightenment era thinking. Um, Sam Adams was a Freemason. Let me double check that to make sure I got it right. I guess it's not been definitely proven, but I'd always heard that he was. Welcome back, Smokey. Leaving in the hearts as always. Much appreciated. We've had a few people talk to me about Discord, so I may have to actually get on Discord. Smokey's been encouraging me to try Discord streaming, which I really, really should. It would be awesome to try. Hey, I mean, Freemasonry and America are both kind of projects of the Enlightenment era. So you work very hard, Smokey. I feel like whenever I talk to you, you're either at work or going to work, which is crazy. But good for you. You should be proud of how hard you work. Um, you should be proud of that. You know, it's funny. I remember, so every year I do the Salvation Army bell ringing. It's one of my favorite things to do for like Christmas, the kettlebells. And I remember one year, this was early. I started doing it in Ottawa, and I went to the Salvation Army to sign up. And I mentioned just offhandedly, like, I'm here to sign up for bell ringing, but I'm super busy. And the person behind the desk said, "Be happy that you're really busy. A lot of people here at the Salvation Army using our services wish they were busy." And I always kind of, I always kind of remember that. And sometimes when you're really busy, it can feel like a lot, but sometimes you should be grateful that you have something to do. Um, awesome, Smokey. It's going to be a blast. August 29th, 12 p.m. I'll send you the link for sure. Tofu Al Dominion. Hey, whatever makes you happy. Just hit the like and subscribe button. Yes, August 29th um, at 12 p.m. Eastern. We'll see how long we go for. I'll send you the link or the links so you can share with some of your people. I'll send you the link to watch, and then I'll share send you the share link as well. I don't know if that's a compliment or not, Bilaki, otherwise known as Blake. Um, this guy can smell colors. I feel like that's a compliment. Like the implication is I have supernatural powers of some sort, or I suffer from, what's it called? Where you like see sounds and hear colors. Aphasia, synesthesia, is where you can. Its experiment of seeing sounds and hearing colors is known as synesthesia. But for the time being, I'm going to assume that it's a compliment. I've heard that too. I've heard military especially is testing that out to see if there's things they can do with it in terms of heightened senses. I mean, other than Coca-Cola, this stuff, and caffeine, I don't have, I don't really do any substances. My drug of choice is caffeine. Thank you to Mr. Keeps for providing me with some coffee. I truly appreciate it. I'm not sure I'd agree with that, Brother Adam. I think perhaps it is our reason that connects us with the Supreme Being, but I don't know for sure. Well, I think there was once a doctor who thought that the soul could be found in the pineal gland. Um, whether that is, I think most would probably say it's actually. I mean, I don't know. I'd have to talk to somebody theologically who knows more about this idea of where the soul might be located within the body, or is it located actually within the body in like a physical sense, or is it more kind of I don't know. I don't know enough about the theological implications of the soul. So it sounds like it'd be very weird, Brother Adam. It sounds like it'd be very weird and a crazy experience as well. All right, this has been an absolute blast. Like I said, these 1 a.m. streams, excuse me, really are just hangout streams, shoot the poop streams without any particular plans. What I do plan to do though, again, 12 hours from now, 1 p.m. on August 14th, so 1 p.m. today, I'm gonna have a shorter stream, and it's basically gonna be listing everything I have coming up, as well as special announcements and things I want to mention. But mostly, it's going to be what I have coming up in the next week, because I'm trying to promote those events as much as I possibly can. I love Leprechaun movies, by the way. Warwick Davis absolutely killed those. If I told you the leprechaun would get you, that's the whole point, right? The leprechaun was they've made 8 movies about this very issue, Brother Adam. They made Leprechaun, they made Leprechaun Part 2, they made Leprechaun Part 3, where he's in Las Vegas. They made Leprechaun in space. They made Leprechaun in the hood. Then the leprechaun went back to the hood. Then the leprechaun went to Ireland and was played by a whole different character. Then the leprechaun returned to Montana or Idaho. I think it was Montana. The point is, they've had like 9 movies explaining to people don't look for Leprechaun's gold. Lep in the Hood is my favorite. For me, it's Leprechaun Goes to Space. Because, in a little bit of history of Cameron, I had my very first kiss while watching Leprechaun in Space. So how is that for quite the quite the piece of trivia. Talk about a movie that you would not expect to, incite romance. Leprechaun in Space. Um, Maybe the girl just kissed me because she wanted to stop watching that terrible movie. I don't know. I love Candyman. Candyman are also great movies. All I like all four of them, I guess. I like the sequels as well. The thing about um, the thing about like horror movies, I remember that part, Smokey. Yes, Rondo, it was fantastic. This is going all the way back. I was what? I would have been 16, almost 17 at the time. So that's going back too long to think about. Um, but remember the thing about horror movies I've always liked. I think I've told this story before, but if you've not heard it, I was traveling. I was in Toronto. This was when I was around the same time. I was 16. It was me and a group of friends. We were all staying in this hostel in Toronto. And at the time, you could go and you could still rent VHS tapes. If you don't know what a VHS tape is, you're way too young. Scarily young. That's not true, Brother Adam. People can be Freemasons even if they have a criminal record. It just depends on the jurisdiction. But going back to my point, uh, so I'm staying in this hostel. There's people who don't speak a lick of English. There's people who speak not as well as you think, Brother Adam. It really depends on the jurisdiction, which I support, by the way. I don't think that a criminal record should be an automatic disqualification. Um, so there's people there from Japan, I remember, who didn't speak English. There are people there from Germany who spoke a little bit of English. There was people there from Scotland and England, people all over the world. And they had this common room area with a TV and a VCR. So me and a friend, we went to a video store, which was next to the hostel, and we rented um, Friday the 13th, Part 7, um, New Blood, and Leprechaun Part 2. And we put both of those movies on in the common area, and everybody who was in the hostel, whatever language they spoke, wherever they were from, they all came down and started watching the movies with us, and they were all cheering and laughing and, yelling at the screen. I feel like there's something about horror movies that transcends culture and language in a way that almost no other movies do. Like, I don't think if you put on a romantic comedy or just a romance movie or even a drama movie, you would have had the same kind of interaction amongst people of all different cultures and languages. Scary movies are like Freemasonry for everybody and something that everybody can understand. I agree, Brother Adam. Masonry does the exact same thing. That's what I love about it. Is its welcoming nature for people of different religions, different beliefs, different backgrounds, different languages, different cultures, different ages. Um, you can be super old like EA Courtney. You can be super young and handsome like me. And either way, Freemasonry uh, has a place for you. What I would say, Smokey, is what matters is that you talk to the lodge, explain what happened, and you go from there. But in my experience, there's actually very few jurisdictions that out and out decline you for having a criminal record. Usually you have to just explain it. The one exception is any time there's any type of crime against a child, usually that can be an automatic disqualification. Otherwise, more often or not, if there's an explanation and a justification and whatever else it is, or maybe there's an explanation and an apology or whatever it is, there's usually, in my experience, some type of leeway. Um, Not everywhere, it just depends, right? But again, in that scenario, even doing that to defend somebody else, to defend your sister, it might be okay, but it's jurisdictional. Here in Ontario, it wouldn't be an automatic disqualification. Honestly, in Ontario, as well as in Illinois, they don't even automatically ask for a criminal record check. Um, well, the other thing is, you were 17, were you? I mean, I don't want to get into the legal side of things because it's a whole. I'm not an expert in American criminal law or state civil law, but there might be exceptions because you were under the age of 18, right? Whatever it might be. Um, there might be certain exceptions made in that way as well. Well, everywhere the Grand Lodge has to say yes. In every jurisdiction, well, I shouldn't say every because I've not, checked every jurisdiction, but every jurisdiction of which I'm aware, if you get an application, somebody wants to join, you have to send the information to the Grand Lodge um, to confirm first and foremost. I've talked about this a lot, the things I think that we as Freemasons should be collecting in terms of data when we have a new applicant. I've suggested credit checks, health information, and criminal record checks. And none of that, I've said, and I still believe this, should be automatically disqualifying. Um, um, but you should have the information. I appreciate that, Smokey, but it depends where you're from and stuff. Really, what I always suggest is it costs absolutely nothing to ask, except a little bit of your time. And honestly, if you ask and they, say no, they'll probably still take you out for dinner, and coffee. So at least you get dinner and coffee, if nothing else. Um, right? That's something. That helps too. Make sure a lot of people say you're a good guy, and just take your time with it. But see if you can go to a lodge dinner. Dress to impress. That's always good advice. That is always, always good advice. You can have pink or blue hair. It's fine. Pink is my favorite color, so have your pink hair. It's perfectly fine. Blue, I might question that a little bit more. One day I'm going to have long pink hair. You'll see. You'll all see. Well, no, probably not green either. Well, that's that. I mean, your family won't be contacted unless you want them to be, right? We do, I always encourage, like, if you have an applicant joining, to meet the family or get the family to come to a lodge function, just because when, a man joins Freemasonry, his family is also going to be a part of it. And so you want to make sure the family's on board. But you don't have to, that kind of becomes up to the person, up to the brother himself or the applicant. Well, in that case, I've never actually met a 33rd degree Mason. So there's that. Because I've never met a 33rd with pink hair. So that must be that secret 34th degree that they don't tell us about. That all the conspiracy theorists are talking about all the time. I hope everybody is, as always, having a wonderful, wonderful night. I'm going to be ending this stream shortly because I need to get some sleep because I'm going to have a really busy few weeks. It's going to be fun, but it's going to be very busy as well. Shoot, what is something interesting before I jump off of this stream? I'd love to hear it. Well, I mean, to my knowledge, there's no real degrees beyond 33rd in any order. Unless you want to count, like, the Shrine as being some type of parallel order that's above Scottish Rite, but I don't know if you could look at it like that. But anything's possible. I mean, who knows what's gonna? I mean, there's Memphis. You know, once you get past the third degree, it really doesn't help to think of things in terms of like above or below or beyond, or higher or lower. It's just kind of parallel tracks, parallel degrees. It does, yeah. Well, I mean, to my knowledge, you could argue in some ways Freemasonry ends at 33rd degrees, but I wouldn't be a fan myself of describing it that way. I would say Freemasonry ends after the third degree. After that, it's just parallel tracks, but you're not, you know, it's 3 degrees, and then the rest of it is qualifications that enhance the third degree but don't supersede it. Um, Palladium, I'm not sure. Let me look at something here quickly. So Memphis Mizraim is not recognized in North America, but it is recognized in Europe, and it is recognized in Russia, for example. Which, again, Freemasonry is not the same everywhere. People need to remember that and understand that just because, for example, Memphis is not recognized in North America does not mean it's not a valuable part of the craft around the world. That's the thing that conspiracy theorists tend to not understand. They tend to think Freemasonry as being like one group or one body that controls everything around the world, which is not the case by any means, right? Freemasonry is jurisdictional. Recognition is decided at the jurisdictional level. I hate to end the stream now because the Ranch on Pizza debate, Ranch on Pizza is at yes 53%, no. So yes is winning. So Ryan McKee is winning this one. It is in North America, but again, not in Europe. Russian Freemasonry recognizes it. I think many European countries recognize it. So, you know, it just depends on where you're at. For heaven's sake, somebody watching this, vote on the poll and vote no to Ranch on Pizza. Don't let Ryan McKee win this one. He'll hold it over my head forever. I'll never hear the end of it. All right, I think I'm going to have to just accept the fact that I've lost this stream or lost this poll. Ranch on Pizza looks like it's winning 53 to 47. I have heard about that, but I know very little about it. But I think it was brought up on a few streams, actually, to be honest. So it might be worth looking into to a greater extent. Because again, it's not something I know a ton about. Thank you for being on board, EA Freemason. It was wonderful to have you. But I think I'm going to have to call this stream. All right, guys, thank you all so much. I will see everybody in about, that's awesome, Brother Adam. I really appreciate that. That's very kind of you. Don't forget, check me out on Patreon, patreon.com/squareandcompass. I will be back in about 12 hours. And thank you, Brother Adam. You and Courtney and all my audience gives me a lot of motivation to keep going. So it is truly appreciated. All right, guys, I'll talk to everybody later. Have a great night. I'll talk to you soon.